Do you often use ChatGPT to structure your notes or simplify things that you're not understanding? Do you refer to AI tools when you need help with school projects and college projects? And do you also use artificial intelligence, not even thinking that it is a big deal? Yes, this is the exact change that I'm talking about. The technological turnaround that is going to change the times around us. This is exactly what happened when engine was found. This is exactly what happened when electricity was discovered. And this is exactly what happened when nuclear power came into the picture. A new force was born which was changing not just economies but societies, institutions and also nations. And this time, this new force is artificial intelligence. And India has decided to take leadership, be the contender and not a spectator when the rule making around AI has taken up the conversation along the global landscape. And this is when India is making a $175 billion bet in our own country in terms of infrastructure. India is hosting this global AI summit to ensure that India has a key stake whenever we are talking about AI. Hello everyone, welcome to Vajiram and Ravi's Flash News. My name is Shubhangi Singh and today we are going to understand the significance of this AI Impact Summit, how that this marks a policy shift for India, how India has decided to take lead not just in AI governance but also AI use, and how all of this is going to change the global landscape around artificial intelligence. So when we are talking about this global AI summit that is happening in New Delhi, it is bringing together world leaders, tech CEOs, policy makers all under one roof, and this is being conducted by India's own national AI mission. So as to ensure that when we are talking about the use of AI and the advantages around it, India is the place where the innovation, where the culmination and where the governance framework, everything is formulated. You don't have to see this as just a global conference on AI which is happening in India. This is going to be a platform for global AI debate. We will be moving from just theoretical decisions to actual real life application and how that is going to benefit everybody. Furthermore, this is going to also demonstrate India's ambition to lead the global AI governance, and this is the place where India is taking the baton and marking its entry into whole of this landscape. So let us try to understand all about this AI Impact Summit which is happening in New Delhi from Feb 16 to Feb 20th. So when we are talking about this very summit, the first thing that we need to understand is the fact that yes, this summit is significant. It is not just significant for India, but it is also significant for the world. But how? So when we are talking about India, which is projecting itself as a developing force, a developing name in the whole global landscape, where we want to be part of the conversations and we want to build things. In this context, India has this Global AI Summit as an opportunity, because this is the platform where we will be seeing that this is a summit which is hosted by a developing nation, and this is also significant because this is happening for the first time. Not just a developing nation, but the first nation from the global south. Basically, the nations which are regarded to have low level of economic development and industrialization across the globe. So when we are talking about global north and south, there is one particular line which divides the countries in the global north and south. Can you tell me the name of that particular line which divides the global south and global north? Going back to the topic, when we are talking about the significance for India, we also have to see the fact that how this is going to position India as a leader and also as a rule maker, rather than just being a spectator or on just being the sidelines, especially when we are talking about AI governance and the framework being ready about it. Furthermore, we also are seeing that this is going to strengthen India's credibility when we are talking about the technological space, and this will be a tool for India to use in technological diplomacy as well. But when we are looking at the world, we have to understand that when we are talking about this summit, that this is going to be a chance for developing countries to find representation, especially when I am talking about global south, especially in AI policy making. And this is where we will see that there will be a global discussion, because as of now, the concentration of AI governance, AI usage is towards developed countries. And that is why we don't want, especially as a country, India does not want that the resource is concentrated and then it is given as a charity to the developing nations. So if the developing nations want to enter the conversation, this is another platform which will expand the global discussion beyond the West-centric AI framework, and this is also the place where AI governance will become multipolar, accessible, and a stakeholdership of the whole global landscape will come in here. But the question that should arise now, we are talking about so much of significance, but how? So when we are looking at how, we have to get into understanding the whole model of AI summit, that if we are talking about such huge significance, how that will be brought in. So when we are talking about this particular global AI summit, first thing we have to understand is the summit framework. Now, this summit framework has been very smartly, intelligently integrated with India's ethos and culture, starting with Sutras. So this summit framework has been placed on three important pillars, three sutras, that what they are trying to deliver or what they are trying to integrate here. These three sutras have been labeled as people, planet, and progress. That means AI's use and AI's governance would be concentrated towards these important stakeholders, and this is where we will be seeing the results. So when we are talking about AI, AI has to serve humanity, because humans are the ones which need help through technology. Technology is not here to master them, and it has to help all the kind of humans present, be it in diversity, helping the causes which are associated with humanity, be it preserving dignity or ensuring inclusivity. Then when we are talking about the next sutra that has been highlighted is the planet. They are saying that, okay, artificial intelligence as in technology can definitely create a lot, but we need to focus on AI innovation which helps our planet, which focuses on environmental stewardship and also sustainability, which is required for survival. And that is when in the third sutra that AI is targeted towards progress. That if we are talking about AI's benefits, then they need to be equitably shared, and that is what AI should be doing, that it should be advancing the global development and prosperity. It should not be the one to make sure that there is further more inequality. So this whole idea of AI usage is something that innovatively India has presented in a very unique way, that what should be the future of AI, what in direction AI should be moving, and how it should be helping the mankind, humanity, be it in terms of economic factors, environmental factors, or humane factors itself. Furthermore, it has been given a very detailed outline in terms of chakras as well, that when we are talking about this particular summit, that what are the themes that we are looking for global cooperation. For what all things we need people to come together, and that has been highlighted through 7 chakras, which will be the guiding force of the sutras that we have discussed. So when we are talking about these main themes, these are human capital, AI for economic development and social good, inclusion for social empowerment, democratizing AI resources, safe and trusted AI, science, resilience, innovation, and efficiency. So the whole idea here is that the sutras will lay the framework, and the groundwork above that will be done through these particular themes, because this will be the basis of channeling the global collaboration that we are looking towards, so that we in the end we have certain measurable outcome. So when we are talking about artificial intelligence, it shouldn't be looked with a narrow lens that, okay, it is a technological parameter. The more we present with any country, the more powerful they are. It should be made in such a way that it ensures the benefit of all and in all the dimensions that we have been discussing. And when we are looking and once we have seen the whole idea of framework and what we are trying to develop over it, this is where you will get the idea that what kind of strategic shift we are talking in terms of policy making towards AI governments for India's end, from India's end. Because before that, the whole focus was about AI safety, that how we need to protect, how we need to ensure that the consequences, negative consequences from AI safety are limited. The negative consequences from AI are limited. But now, if you see through the given parameters, you will understand that our focus has shifted towards AI impact. And this is the contribution of India through this particular switch in outlook. Because before this, earlier global focus was on existential threats, the kind of job losses that we will see. The focus was on how there will be enhancement of risks related to misuse. There was focus on strict regulation that, okay, we need to regulate AI, rules need to be brought in. But India has changed it altogether. India has taken the policy approach India has taken the policy approach towards practical deployment. If you look at the flagship events such as Global Youth Challenge, AI Bharat Global Impact Challenge, where we are looking into the practical deployment, where can AI be used in real life scenarios and how it can help. There is focus on AI and its social application. So when we are talking about AI Bharat, we are looking at a global innovation challenge which is inviting women technologists so as to ensure that the AI solutions can be used for large scale or novel handling of real world problems. And there is also immense focus from India towards development outcomes, where we are putting it through Impact Expo, we have research symposium on AI and what impact it is creating. So this has changed the direction of AI governance altogether, because India has clearly outlaid that AI should function as a tool for solving public problems, not just as a rising technological frontier in one isolated region or particular concentration scene, in one isolated region or with certain limited countries itself. And this is where we also need to move ahead and understand not just the policy direction shift I had been talking about, that we have shifted from the fear mindset around AI to solution mindset, that how better it can be used. This Global AI Summit shows that. If you look into the core summit activities, the activities I was just showing, the flagship activities which are happening, this shows the fact that this is a platform for international collaboration as well as innovation. For example, if you look at Global AI Impact Challenge, we have 70 plus countries, more than 4,000 applications, and then more than 4,000 applications and 70 plus finalists have been selected to address the real world problems, be it in healthcare, climate, agriculture, governance, finance and education. So here we are not only looking towards formulation or coming in of ideas, but we are looking at how it can be translated into policy and implementation as well. And that is why we have this demonstration arena which is bringing the real world technologies. So when I am showing you the components, when I am showing you the structure of this, you will be able to see that how India is transitioning the whole global AI governance into a different direction, and this is the place where India is looking to also bring in a national AI strategy framework, where they are going to focus on mass scale deployment capability, that people are enabled with AI understanding and also skills related to it. Furthermore, affordable access model, that AI is not something that needs to be concentrated in the certain pockets of our country, rather it should be accessible, and then focusing on development of domestic infrastructure. That is how we are marking our participation in the global rule making around AI. Because this is where India is trying to bridge the gap between developing and developed global AI ecosystem, and India knows that if we want to enter the global stage, we want to show the technological leadership, we have to bring in domestic strength also, and we have to bring in global engagement also. So this global AI summit is an example of global engagement. Domestic strength we are planning to develop over years. Now when we are at this stage, you have to understand that this is the time that we are seeing a dynamic shift, a technological change is happening. Just like I said in the starting, this is just like when electricity came, this is just like when industrial revolution came, that the whole of the technological scenario is going to change. So on this context, we also need to go back to the times and understand that every transformative technology always creates conflict. That how people will cooperate, how nations will cooperate, and also how we will manage our national interest. Be it nuclear power, be it industrial revolution, be it making of the first diesel engine, and whatsoever. So we are here taking a case study of nuclear age, especially for our country. When we are talking about, there has been a very interesting article in Indian Express regarding that when we are talking about our own country, it was back in 1955 that Homi J. Bhabha was the one promoting the use of nuclear energy for peaceful purposes, and it was not just for his own country, he was promoting it globally. And at the same time, simultaneously, he was building India's domestic nuclear capability as well. So this was a similar example that you can draw parallels with, that we were focusing on domestic strength as well as global engagement at the same time. The whole idea here and back then was to influence global technological rules, but also have the domestic capacity. That means we are self-reliant and we are not dependent on that. And from that very age, the same lesson that we can draw is the fact that we need to build national capability, we have to partner internationally, and we need to one of the major forces in terms of AI rule making. And this Global AI Summit is a very good step in the right direction as of now. Furthermore, as we were discussing in the start, that how exactly India is going for a $175 billion gamble, that particular gamble that I was talking about AI was about the AI data city which has been proposed in Vizag. So when we are talking about this AI data city in Vizag, this is a whole planned AI ecosystem which we are expecting in Visakhapatnam. This is not just a data center cluster, and it will have all the important infrastructure components, be it hyperscale data centers, GPU farms, semiconductor ecosystem, cloud infrastructure hubs, and also research and manufacturing facilities. And for this, the promised allocation has been of $175 billion. If you look at this number, already $15 billion has been promised from Google's end. But when you look at this number and the kind of investment that we are focusing on in terms of strengthening the domestic capability, this is something that we are taking as a risk. For example, when we are talking about information technology, an IT city, what we see as of now has come into the picture, what we call as the Silicon Valley of India, that is Bangalore. This is something that we are making up for future. This is investment in the future, and it is not rightly worded as a gamble. Because when we are talking about Vizag, there are multiple reasons that it is the suitable location. It has the access in terms of location because it is a coastal place. That means the submarine cable connectivity which is required, which will be absolutely present. Large land availability is there. Existing industrial base is present, and state government policy support is also ensured. So this will be the place where we will be starting off on the domestic strength, where we are building domestic compute sovereignty, we are attracting global investment, especially related to AI, and we are anchoring India's long-term AI leadership ambition in this very form. Now on this note, I'll be leaving you here with a practice question. You can put down your answers in the comment section. That was all from my side. Thank you so much.